It's totally worth the carrying. It's about 20 minutes before sunrise. It's deadly quiet this morning. It's taken me quite a while to get up on this top and be sneak as I can and bump quite a few animals on the way through. Pretty sure by the sound of them running off they were kangaroos. You can usually tell by that thump thump as they take off. There was a stag roaring in the distance, not near me. It sounded like a long way off when I first set off from the car on the opposite ridge over there, and I haven't heard it since, so I'm going to sit here and let out a few calls. In front of me I'll show you what I've got. I've come in on the game trail behind me and the thermal's been quite cold. It's been going down, so I'm a bit concerned that my wind is going down to where I want to focus on, so I've come right over on the other side. Now I'm sitting on a saddle, and these low saddles here sometimes are pretty good crossing points from one gully over there to the next. So I'm hoping, my theory is that as it's quite a cold start, so I think as they come up the sun will hit just about this spot first. The sun's about to come over that crest up there, so I'll probably be sitting in the sun before any other critter here. So my idea is if I sit here and they're cold, they might come up and join me. If you haven't discovered cliff bars yet, these are awesome. Love them. Gotta not be allergic to peanuts. So I think I heard another roar. It's very faint as well, but down this side, so maybe that deer's come in underneath me, perhaps, or it's another one. They're pretty quiet on the roaring though. Try to let out a couple of calls. No response. Sometimes, don't know whether I should just be quiet or keep calling. I have called in the past though, just about given up, walk off, and there he is standing there looking at me, so sometimes it takes them a little while to work their way up. And it amazes me their ability to pinpoint exactly where you are when they've come from so far away. It's kind of also the downside of letting a call go, because if you maybe move it might work, but if you stay put they're going to be fixed on your location, so there's every chance when they approach they just kind of arc around you and get in your wind, and then you'll never see them anyway. There's a lot of cows in the area, off in the distance. Sometimes cows, it's hard to tell the difference. Every now and then you get a very distinctive red deer roar. I hear cows, that's definitely cows now, out that way. Looks like my samba tactics aren't paying off with these deer, so I'm gonna go find them. Right next to a noisy river again. I've dropped down and this is where all the action is, so I'm pretty convinced this is where they're spending a lot of their time. Got fresh droppings all through these blackberries. Fresh prints, and it smells, so they're here somewhere. It's going to come down to who sees who first, I think. Finally got the wind in my favour. See, I've got a sea of blackberries. I was just looking to see if I could actually get my way through. And a couple of kangaroos ran past at full speed coming my direction. Must be a really good game trail there, so got a pretty good shooting area. I might just sit here and see if they were spooked or what. Still seeing really fresh prints. Considering the rain I've seen and we've had, any of these prints I'm seeing in the last couple of days, I've seen a couple of washed out ones from the rain, and they've pretty much destroyed the print, so I'm confident that these in the last day or so. Big heavy animals, they're pretty easy to track. Well, after spending about an hour and a half snipping my way through blackberry trails, thick stuff down by the river, it was red hot, finally got to this nice clearing. And I thought, this is good, I've got a bit of a view, good game trails, a couple of rub trees, so I'll just sit here. And my butt had just hit the ground, and two stags, a young spiker at the front. I just was training the camera on him, and there was a big dark animal behind him. I dropped the camera, grabbed the binos, and all I could see was his underbelly. He was a ruddy stag for sure, but it's odd that he's trailing a spiker, so usually, you know, the younger animals will stay together, but it's odd. And then I dropped down. I don't think they were onto me. I cannot find them. They've absolutely vanished. Unless they crossed the river, they might have done that up the other side, which I can't see. It's too thick. I sat here for a while and then I gave out a hind call to see if I could bring him back to me, but no joy. So theory was right though. They were right down the bottom of the gully, so total flip-flop from the samba technique. They didn't go up in the morning, they stayed right down, and everything was against them. They didn't have the thermal right. They were walking with the wind. I had the wind in my face. It was really odd. Maybe they're not as clever. It's way easier going now that I'm down here. It's really nice. Lots of food, so maybe with not much pressure they're not rising up like the other species that I hunt. Beautiful little gully, this one. This one's pretty fresh. This is the line that they walked. I was up there about 50 metres. I walked right on the thick line, right against the river here. I kind of thought they might have been just holding in this blackberry, but if they are, I can't see them. No wonder all the deer are down here. It's so nice. I've just got everything except for quietness. It's so noisy. That's a very mature hind with kind of 3/4 grown ones, so they'll definitely be both breeding age. I can't see any stag with them. It's not to say he's not there, but they've mulled around there for quite a while. I've been watching them for 25 minutes. He's going about their day, but he's there. I mean, I can't see much on that side because of the cover, but he's not standing in the clearing at the moment. I can get over to that side pretty easily. It's still on the block that I've got permission to hunt on. So we'd been up here with no samba. Just expect to get honked any second. They're just not here. So strange. Really become a part of the landscape down south. Well, thermal's rising hard now, so it's getting pretty warm too. It's only lunchtime. I'll head back to camp. Haven't bumped any other animals, not even a roo on the way back, surprisingly. Lots of sign on the ground though, so they're here somewhere. I reckon that they're just heading into these big blackberry thickets and sitting down. So hard to get through them. They just slip through. Well folks, disaster has struck. Yesterday I was on my way back to camp, and I've been noticing a bit of a problem in my steering in the car. I'm a long bloody way from home up here in New South Wales,
there's not a mechanic really nearby. For an instance there, I even lost my steering, so I've checked all the fluids, it's nothing obvious. All the tie rods and bushes and all that stuff all seem normal, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. So Stewie's still not with me. He's been off at his nephew's wedding, so he'll be back soon, and then we can try and work out how I'm going to get out of here. So I'm still going to get off the farm, which is quite a full drive out. It's going to be interesting. And then if I can get it to the gate, I might have to try and organise some kind of tow truck to get me to the nearest town, which is quite a while. So this could abruptly end the trip. Either that, or I send the car off and keep hunting for a few more days, one or the other. So
fog's just starting to clear now. There's a deer roaring down in blowers. I'll try and get down and get eyes on. It's all gone pretty quiet. We're just heading over to the sunny side now. Got a few kangaroos hopping about, moving up in here, but the calling activity stopped. This is going to be a short one because I've got to get off this car, see if we can get down to a mechanic this morning. So we might have to pull out of here. Thought we'd give it one more go.
well, Stewie and his old man to the rescue. They've helped me out massively and got my car to the mechanics, and prognosis is maybe a CV. So they want it for a few days, so I'm stuck in paradise in the raw. Looks like I can't get home in time for work or Easter. Sorry guys. And Stu and I found something else to do. So I don't know if you watched the Fjordland video when Stu having the time of his life pumping up his raft with the bag. His times have changed. He's got the modern version now. He's moved to the electric pump. We're thinking that in the morning we're going to use this little craft to get our gear across the water, just because we're happy to walk it, but it's really still over waist deep, and if we fall in with our packs, rifles and camera equipment, it'll be an expensive and pretty dangerous ordeal. So we're thinking of putting all our gear in this, stripping off, and using this to ferry our equipment over.
Yeah, those spiders are just nuts, aren't they?
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
So Stewie and I got all our gear ready for the next day, and we thought for the afternoon we'll just go up to a high point and have a bit of glassing around, and lo and behold we got onto this guy, and he was totally revved up, absolutely roaring his head off. Another stag in the area we could hear too, but only could see this one. And he's quite a good animal, mature animal. So yeah, so I'll let this footage roll so you can have a look. Apologies on the quality on this one. It is a long way off. It's at least 800 to 1,000 metres off here. It's got good length.
Yeah.
He's definitely a mature animal.
Yeah.
More of a mane and a bit of a sunken chest as well.
Yeah.
Very vocal.
Mm.
Yeah, keep on him, because this is what I did. I just kept on it. He's running now.
Yeah. Down.
On an angle, same angle. There's another one. There's two.
Where's the other one?
I don't know, but he's looking up and the other one roared and he didn't roar. He's on full run. He's going up the hill now. At the other roar.
Well, that was a ripper finish to the afternoon. Just heading back to camp now. We've been sitting out and got a brief glimpse of a pretty good stag, and they were absolutely going off, roaring heads off at least 2 stags. Really vocal at 6 PM. and they're still going off right now in the background, so it's going to be a long night for those ones. But we tried calling them a fair bit, they would not have a bar of it. So we'll head back and have another try in the morning. Oh, it's early in the morning, it's cold, and it's about to get a whole heap wetter. Stewie and I come up with this brilliant idea of walking across the river first thing in the morning. We've got a raft, but it's flowing pretty hard, so we're going to use the raft to pull our gear in, and that way if we get a deer and we get back, we can float the deer back across the river. So it's time to strip off the duds and hit the span water first thing out of camp. Nice. So the idea is that we can hold on to the raft and it's so bad getting in slowly. See, Stewie's a good few inches taller than me, and I'm a few inches lower to the ground.
Your nuts are going to be wet for sure.
My dipstick's already touched the top. And it's got a really strong current in the middle, and yesterday I tried to walk it and it kind of washed me down a bit, so I'm holding on to the raft for a bit of extra support.
Sort of got to be side on.
Yeah, I reckon we want to be more up and down with the flow so you don't get swamped. Oh, nothing like a nice shower in the morning. Jeez, you haven't even got your nuts wet. I'm fucking up to my hips. Oh. The cold corgis. It's a bit of a different game plan than usual today. You can't do the same thing and expect a different result, so Stu and I are split up. We're going on the north and the south side of quite a big system. We're going to get up high and listen for the first hour or so, see if we can hear any frisky stags, and if that fails we're going to put in a stalk and we're switching to meat mode now, so we don't shoot the reds here because they do a bit of herd management, but there's fallow around, we'll take one of them for meat, and of course main targeted species is the reds. And so I just pause as I'm talking to you guys. I just bumped a mobberoos. Whoops. Yeah. Oh, I better turn this off and focus. You'll see there, good little thrush there. We're in the right area. Had a really close encounter with a red deer hind. She's just on the other side of these blackberries. I can't see her now. She doesn't know I'm here. I just can see her head and her ears. She's feeding just here. I've tried to get a bit closer, but it's too noisy. I'm really close to her, maybe 15 metres, 20 metres tops. This is probably the best part of the track that I've found that I can show you. In lots of places it's very subtle, but it's definite. I've been trailing this group of deer for about 600 metres now, and here very, very easy to see where they've been walking. But it looks like more of joy in this track. There's now a number of animals on this trail, so as soon as I pick up the pace, no doubt I'll bump them, so easy as we go. definitely spoke too soon. I was just talking to you about this track. And there was a spiker bedded. He was bedded right there behind that blackberry bush. He must have heard me speaking to you guys. He's trotted up to see what's going on, but he's coming back. He does not know what I am. Might not have seen a human before. He's stomping and carrying on up there. It's like he wants to. Oh, what a morning. So 4 deer is the count so far. Stewie's just, we've changed spurs. He's come over to the one I was on, and I've gone one further west, because I heard a roaring stag down here. I'm on a red hot game trail that has headed down, which probably was last night or yesterday arvo. I've just been sitting here for 5 minutes listening to see if I can hear it roar again. Bush is pretty noisy, lots of birds, planes. Right now I'm in an excellent gully for deer, but I can't see far at all. It's really, really thick. But I have got a hot game trail, so I'm going to keep walking this up, and hopefully it leads me to where they went last night, and they might even be doing it in reverse now, coming back at me. The sun's come up, the thermal's coming up. I've got all that in my favour. It's just too thick to see. Every time I get out in the open stuff, there's no sign. They're not there. Come in the thick stuff where the blackberries are. It's noisy and hard going. And that's where all the deer are. See, the stag's been thrashing the heck out of that. It's a really good gully here. There's just thrash marks and stag sign everywhere. And I just heard a stag roar down here. Sounds like a long way off, but sometimes in the bush it's deceiving. I'm gonna get through these bloody blackberries again. Got a bit of a split. Really formed game trail here. Bedding areas behind. One going up, one going down. The wind's coming up this way. I'll take my chances with this one because it's a bit. Oh, there's a deer, there's a deer. The camera was facing down enough. We've got meat.
Copy there, Dad.
Yeah, mate. Bring out the knives, we've got some meat.
Did you get a fellow?
Yeah, mate, he came along the game trail, walked straight into me.
Fellow?
Yeah, fellow, yep, copy fellow.
Yeah, nice. Buck or doe?
yeah, young buck, like a little kind of mongrelly kind of buck. Well, we said we were going to switch to meat mode, and there it is. I don't know if you could see then, I couldn't get a good clear shot at him, so I had to just wait and wait and wait and wait, and then there was an avenue, and then I hit him in the avenue. He was done. I could see it was a good shot, but I've always kind of I always say if I can get another shot, just take it for the cost of a bullet. But yeah, I could see it all coming out of his shoulder there, so I've also hit him in the right spot the first time. He didn't know where we were, but he's toast. I see him backflipping down, so we have got quite the carry out, but we've got the full packs. We're all set up for this, so it's good. I'll find me shells. One here. And the other one must be here somewhere too. Oh, there it is. Awesome. That's a great result. Well, the persistence paid off this time. So I'm still standing at that junction that we were just talking about, and that nice game trail, and just like I suspected, deer are coming up to me. So that deer actually wasn't on my trail, he was a fraction below me on that trail there. He's come along, and as you could see, there was only a few shooting windows, but I glanced over, I could see that shooting window there, so I just take my time. He was only 15 metres from me, and I waited until he had that shot, didn't rush through any of this brush here, and he's run to there, and I hit him again, and he's run back, and he's just behind this tree here. He's flipped into a little bit of deadwood there. Stewie's going to be coming down this face anytime. I'm just going to hang here. I won't approach that deer just yet. I'm in a good spot. I'll just hang here. If there's more fallow around, they very well may follow that one up. So, and I've been told that the fallow in here aren't welcome, and they'll be shot on sight. So that's what's happened. It's been about probably 15 minutes now. Still haven't seen Stewie. So you see, I'm still standing in the same spot, just near this tree here. No other animals have come past at this stage, so I'm going to head down and show you my young fellow buck. He looked like he was maybe a second year. He's only a very young animal, but a good. He looked like he's in good condition. He's going to have a good bit of meat on him nonetheless, and Stewie and his family will appreciate the venison, I'm sure. So we'll go down and have a little look at him, eh? Just heard a beep on the radio, so Stewie must be coming in on me. Got my blaze hat on. That's where the rhinos are really good. We were separated, but we were able to work together and keep a nice safe distance apart. And that way I knew Stewie was right up on the other side of that ridge. It was quite safe to shoot down into this gully. Really good backstop there. I just walked through all that, so I think I can see him there. Yep, there's a hoof in the air down there. This is the trail he was on when he doubled back, and there he is in that, pulled up in that bit of timber just there. That's a great result. He's very ruddy actually. I can smell him from here.
A big amount of fat on this guy. Look at all that.
He's in good nick.
Yeah, that's real good. Well, the good news is the car got fixed and I've been able to pack up camp and head on home. So got a big drive in front of me. I've already put a few hours under my belt. So yeah, it's been a interesting roar. The weather has really kind of mixed things up a little bit and made things interesting. So got to see a lot of animals and a lot of close encounters, and helped the Stewarts fill the freezer with a bit of free range venison. It's always good. So yeah, thanks for coming along for the ride. Stay safe, people. See you next time.